Backpedal, a three for the win, and goal! He got it!
Escaping Madison Square Garden with a dramatic 138-135 overtime victory, Tyrese Haliburton led the charge with a stellar performance, putting up 31 points and 11 assists. The Pacers star capped off regulation with a miraculous buzzer beater to force overtime, cementing his status as the night's hero. With the outcome already sealed late in overtime, Haliburton added a touch of flair, tossing the ball to Knicks center Karl-Anthony Towns in the final seconds, further frustrating the home crowd. By stealing home court advantage in New York, the Pacers moved one step closer to their first NBA Finals appearance since 2000. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals will tip off on Friday night at Madison Square Garden. Tyrese Haliburton funny reaction to choke celebration versus Knicks in Game 1.
3 wins. Here he is at the podium after dropping 31 and 11.
No, hell no.
Did you think it was a 3 in the moment?
Yeah, for sure. But quickly in my celebration, somebody said it was a 2. And, then my focus just became winning it, how we could, win the game. And I thought we did a great job of sticking with it in overtime, just making big play after big play. Obviously, Aaron's heroics are, I hope they're talked about it. They can't be talked about enough. He was amazing down the stretch. We had a big putback dunk. We've had a lot of different guys contribute, make plays, and I was really proud of our group.
When did the choke idea come to you?
In the moment, I wasn't like plotting on it or anything. Everybody wanted me to do it like last year at some different point, but it's just gotta feel right, and it felt right at the time. If I would have known it was a 2, I would not have done it. So I think I might have wasted it. If I do it again, then I might be. People might say I'm like aura farming, so I'm not. Like I said, what Aaron Nesmith did today can't be talked about enough, and his effort and our group's effort.
Tyrese, when your shot at the end of regulation goes off the rim, goes up in the air, are you deflated, honestly?
No, I knew it was. I'm like, it's going in. It just felt like it got stuck up there, though. And honestly, when it like went in, I thought my eyes might have been deceiving me in the moment, but it felt good when it left my hand. So. I thought it was going to go in, and, the ball felt like it was up there for eternity. But, man, just a special moment.
Tyrese, you guys have talked about this a lot over the past couple of weeks here. Now making comebacks like this, kind of routine, even though we're not. What is it about you guys that allowed you to keep doing stuff that nobody else has been able to do?
Yeah, well, I would like to not keep being in this situation. But I think we're just a group that has spent a lot of time, with each other. And I think the front office's decision to keep, the majority of our group together, basically our whole team together essentially after last year, I think was really big because we've been through everything together. We've been on big losing skids, big winning runs, had to win in so many different ways. So many guys had to step up and make big shots. And I think that's just, I think in the NBA you don't see a ton of continuity from year to year, right? It's, many teams are changing from year to year, and I think our front office did a great job of keeping this group together. And I think that this just gives us all confidence in each other. Like we feel like we know where everybody's going to be. We expect, we have high expectations for each other, but I think we also have we hold each other accountable at the same time. I think that's important. And I've seen people joke about us and call us we're like a college team a little bit because of how close we are and, how we've been together and we're all super young and whatever the case may be. But, man, it's just it's special. And I love playing with these guys and, look forward to, keep this run going.
You're obviously a student of history. If you know about the choke gesture, how much do you know about where that came from in the game, where Reggie did it and sort of what happened next?
I've seen that winning time doc probably 50 times growing up. So I know that they didn't win the series. So I would not like to repeat that. But, I think that's just a historic moment. And that was obviously more him versus Spike, kind of the one-on-one. And that just felt like it was to everybody. But to him, too. I wanted him to see it more than anything. But I think it's just really cool to continue to, make my own history and this group to make our own history while also showing, respect and love to the ones who came before us. So definitely a special moment, and yeah, something I won't forget.
He was calling the game in the last round. Reggie was the Knicks game, and they were coming back, and Brunson had a couple baskets in the fourth quarter. And he said, "This is the best fourth quarter closer in the game right here." Is he right?
Who?
Reggie? That Brunson was the best closer in the game? Or is that maybe you right now, the way you played in these playoffs?
It's whoever you want it to be. Yeah.
Tyrese, I wanted to ask you about something boring like you guys' pace.
That's not boring.
No,
I love talking about that. Come on.
Threes, you know, come back from 17. Do you think that your relentless pressure that you've been talking about all season, do you think that wore them down a little bit?
I think maybe you could say that. You know, they missed a couple free throws there down the stretch. Had a couple short misses there at the end of the game. Sure, for coach's sake and for coach speak, yeah, the wear down effect was, you know, in full effect right there. But I think the way you got to approach this game and approach this series is that it's going to be a 7-game series that going to be played in 13 days, right? So that's how we're approaching it and looking at it. And you got to take it one day at a time. So, you know, I think just trying to wear on these guys as much as we can. Obviously, their starters play a lot of minutes. You know, I thought, you know, obviously with some foul trouble, some other guys had to play a little bit more. They had a lineup out there that probably hasn't played together a ton, but was really effective for them there. So we just got to do a better job there. But I think, I think it's hard for me to discredit and say that the wear down effect wasn't there. You know, I think from everything you're seeing that's a part of it, and I think that's a part of our identity. How can we wear on teams for 48 minutes? Obviously picking up full court, but you know, as well as our offensive pressure, getting downhill, moving, playing fast. You know, I thought that we did a good job offensively of playing our style. You know, they went on that little run there and obviously got a pretty big lead there. But I thought we did a great job of, you know, Pascal had the and one on Cat, and we just, you know, kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And I think that was really big for us, making extra plays, getting extra possessions with offensive rebounds or finishing, getting rebounds on that side. I think they were all big down the stretch. So, yeah, I think for Coach Carlisle's sake, we'll say the wear down effect was in full effect.
If 3 of these shots down that game winners, game tires, that buzzer, what in those moments you seem to want the ball, sort of see push shots you want? What do you like about that moment where you sort of why you've had so much success?
Yeah, I mean, I think every person who enjoys basketball, or probably everybody in here, imagined at one point that they would be an NBA player or something, you know. And I think the biggest thing when you're growing up is everybody's on the playground or in the driveway or in the gym by themselves. You're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 shooting it, and if you miss it, nobody's around, so put more time on the clock, right? And I think for me, I was always encouraged me just to have an imagination, right? So I would be running down the hallway in my childhood home, pretending there was a hoop and, you know, playing basketball and all those things. And I think that the biggest thing for me is I already have the confidence to take the shot in the moment, but I have that confidence from my group. My group wants me to take those shots. My coaching staff wants me to take those shots. You know, I think our organization wants me to take those shots. I think now we're at the point where our fans want me to take that shot, you know. So I think everybody's living and dying with it at that point. That gives me a lot of confidence. And to be honest with you, like, when I got traded here, you know, we weren't very good. And so we would be in these moments where I would have to take these shots, and I would miss them, and nobody would care. Maybe Pacer fans would, but like we weren't very good, so it didn't matter. We weren't a playoff team or anything. So I feel like that kind of like baptism by fire almost to do that, and then now be in these situations where obviously they matter on such a bigger scale, I think is important for me. So I really think that experience is the best teacher for me, and I've had that as times went on.
Guys, we have time for like a couple more. We have a bus here in about 4 minutes.
So you and Jalen obviously have a lot of recent history going back to the FIBA World Cup and then last year in the playoffs, and then you guys staring each other down in WWE ring, and now you're back here in the conference finals. Just to have a game like this against him, what does it mean for you and for the journey that you guys have done?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. I love competing against him. You know, I know maybe I'm not supposed to say that like we're friends, but I love competing against that guy, and I think just love competing, you know, in general. And I think the storied rivalry between the Pacers and Knicks is really cool. But I think where we are right now, that could, you know, how much does it really matter? You know, we're writing our own stories right now, and so I think where we are is a special time and something that's going to be remembered by, you know, fans of the Pacers, fans of the Knicks, you know, moving forward. So just really, really special to compete against him and just compete in general.
Did you have a message to the team when you were down?
Huh?
Did you have a message to the team when you were down?
When we got down, like, what was that, 16, 17, or let's get it to 10, let's get it to 5. You know, I think just trying to walk them down. You know, there's no 17-point shot, you know, so I think we did a great job of just chipping away, and good things happen for us.
Tyrese, we have time for one more. Did you get a chance to interact with Reggie, either lock eyes with him or from after the game, just anything? I know you said you wanted to see it.
After I did my post-game interview, we locked eyes and had a little moment. I didn't want to go over there because it's obviously pretty hectic over there, but we communicate pretty often, so definitely a special time, and yeah, really cool he was in the building for that.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate your understanding.
Brunson and KT sent a message to Haliburton after they lost the Pacers 138-135 in Game 1 East Finals.
Myles at the start of the fourth quarter. Were you surprised that the coach put you in at that point, or did you think that he might let you sit for a minute?
I trust whatever Tom Thibodeau goes with. I'm have his back no matter what. I just got to be smart.
Jalen, how do you summarize, you guys had a 14-point lead with 2:51 left to go. How do you summarize how the game closed?
Can't really summarize it. Give them a lot of credit. They closed the game out like they've been doing it all playoffs. Just not really good on our part.
Pretty rare to see a guy like Nesmith hit 5 threes in a row in late game. Just what did you see on the defense from him that let him get those shots?
I mean, it wasn't rare or a rare sighting. I mean, he can shoot, and but now when good teams, when they have a hot shooter, they find him. So it's just not good on our part, and finding him in transition and him getting open shots.
How do you guys bounce back?
I mean, any game you lose is tough, especially in the playoffs. How you bounce back? I mean, you just get back in the lab. Tomorrow we get to practice, watch the film, and get ready for the next one. That's the only way you bounce back.
For either of you, I mean, obviously we've talked so much about the nature of the comebacks against the Pistons, the 3 double-digit comebacks against the Celtics. What, I guess, being on the other side of this and the emotional weight of that, I know you were going to say, didn't you want to wipe the slate clean, but just how different is it to kind of be on the other end of it, and just how do you come back from it?
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, when you win, it's the best thing ever. When you lose, the worst thing ever. And so the best way to deal with all that is just stay level-headed and making sure we have each other's backs. Obviously not the way we want to finish the game. But I mean, like you said, tomorrow we're going to have to watch film and get better, and just making sure that we're ready for game 2.
Carl, obviously you're from here. You know the history of the Knicks and the Pacers, although it was a long time ago. Is there any part of you that's kind of aware of the historical similarities between this game and I know Tyrese did the choke gesture, and the same thing with Reggie Miller on the call. Is there any part of you that's thinking about that, or can you process that as a New Yorker?
I mean, it's our job to make history. So we're not here to repeat history. We're here to make history. So that doesn't pop into my mind. I only think about the present and what we could do right now so we can make our own history.
For either one of you, I mean, for 46 minutes, you guys were keeping up with their pace. You guys were kind of meeting their intensity on the glass. Is it hard to, I know probably right now it is, but when you step back and you look at this game, you guys did what you needed to do to win the game until the final 2 minutes. Can there be positives that you take from this and build on it as you go into game 2 and not get too down on yourself?
I mean, we didn't do what we needed to do. We would be coming in here and talking a whole different ball game, but there's a lot of things, like you said, that we did good, and we put ourselves in a position to win. It's just about, I've said this multiple times, just executing and being disciplined for 48 minutes, doing that for more of the game than we've done in the last 2 series. We got to be better, in this series, especially against this team. And, like you said, we played 46 good minutes. Those 2 minutes is where we lost the game, and that's on all of us. So we all got to be better. We all got to step up to the plate.
Jalen, does the experience in the playoffs of dealing with adversity and overcoming adversity come into play here after a game like this?
Yeah. Obviously, it's not a good feeling, but a lot of basketball left to be played. So we can't sulk. We just got to get better.
Two questions, one for you, Jalen, and for Kat. Did the referees give you an explanation of why they didn't call goaltending on your drive late? And then the other question is, when Obi, you guys were down 1 and Obi got the dunk, was the plan to let him score right away, or was it to foul him?
To answer your first question, no. No explanation. And it's a great question. I think we should have fouled, and we just didn't.
Guys, Detroit had a lot of open looks on threes. Boston had a lot of open looks on threes, and tonight Indiana had a lot of opens on threes. How do you close that gap? How do you defend that so that they don't have those clean looks at those threes?
We got to get to their bodies, stay connected, and they play at a fast pace. They play a space game, and so when they're driving the lanes, and it's easy to collapse, and then we're in rotation, and then they're lining up open threes. You just got to rotate better and get to bodies better, and just making sure we're connected.